Picture a life extinguished in seconds, in a shadowed alley no one should forget. Martika Ferguson's killer would later brag that he was glad. Yet in Enid, Oklahoma, justice pierced that darkness in just 72 hours. Surveillance watched, detectives burned with purpose. A confession poured forth like venom. Her story lingers, demanding we listen. This is 3 Days to Justice, the story of Martika Ferguson. It was Sunday, November 29th, 2020, beneath a heavy gray sky in Enid's quiet Panhandle streets. Martika Ferguson, just 27 years old, walked into a narrow alley off Oklahoma Avenue. Laughter might have lit her steps moments before. Then came the gunshot, a sharp crack that shattered the afternoon calm. Neighbors rushed toward the sound. They found her there, slumped on the cold, cracked pavement, a single wound in her chest spilling life away. Her eyes stared blankly at the indifferent sky. She was gone. She was a devoted mother to an 8-year-old boy who would never feel her embrace again. Martika had been pure sunshine. Friends remembered her as bubbly, the kind of woman whose smile warmed every room she entered. She dreamed of fresh starts for herself and her son, building a brighter tomorrow in this small town. She was kind-hearted and resilient, a young mother carving her path forward. No enemies shadowed her days, until Dale Perosi chose her for his twisted lesson. Those were his words, spoken later in chilling clarity. Yellow tape soon cordoned the alley. Bullet casings caught the fading light. A faint trail of blood marked her final struggle. Witnesses recalled voices in the air, hers pleading desperately, his laced with rising fury. Nearby surveillance cameras had captured it all, a shadowy figure fleeing into the gloom. The footage was grainy, but it was a trail nonetheless. The clock began its merciless countdown. The detectives threw themselves into the fire. They packed 280 man-hours into 48 sleepless ones. They knocked on doors through neighborhoods thick with grief, listening to shaking voices and half-remembered details. Martika's family clung to fading memories, saying she was their light and their fighter, and asking through tears why this happened to her. Piece by piece, the CCTV puzzle took shape. Gas station lenses, doorbell cameras, traffic eyes. Each one offered a sliver of truth. The figure resolved into a clearer outline, a white man in his 30s, striding east with grim purpose. Martika's phone had pinged in the area around 2 in the afternoon. People remembered an argument earlier, the kind that turns stomachs afterward because no one realizes what it will become. Nothing about the scene suggested robbery. This was malice, pure and deliberate. One name began to harden into certainty on the caseboard: Dale Perosi, 30 years old, an Enid local with a shadowed past of felonies. The more detectives compared the footage, the more the match refused to let go. Tips piled up, pointing to his address again and again. A warrant formed like a storm cloud, gathering pressure. And inside his home, the man they were hunting scrambled. He burned clothing. He smashed his phone. He tried to erase a truth that had already taken root in too many places. But the hunt tightened. Her son waited, carrying questions too heavy for a child. Dawn broke on Tuesday, December 1st. The no-knock warrant hit Perosi's door like judgment arriving on time. SWAT moved in with practiced speed and a quiet, terrible certainty. Inside, investigators found what the alley had been missing: answers. They located a gun that investigators believed matched the shooting. They found items that suggested attempts to destroy evidence, bits of a shattered phone. The details added up, sharp and unforgiving. The CCTV phantom was no longer a shadow. He was a man in handcuffs, breathing hard, exposed to the light. In the interrogation room, Perosi cracked. He admitted he shot Martika. He said he did it to teach her a lesson. When investigators pressed him for why, he delivered words that turned the stomach. He said he was glad he had done it. He did not offer remorse. He did not reach for humanity. His voice was flat, as if speaking about nothing at all. For Martika's loved ones, those words reopened the wound in a new, brutal way. A police captain later spoke of the hours poured into the case and the urgency to make the community safe. There was exhaustion behind the pride, because everyone involved knew what swift justice could not do. It could not rewind time. It could not return a mother to her son. But it could stop the darkness from walking free. And this time, it happened fast. 72 hours from the alley to the arrest. The courtroom absorbed the aftermath. Charges landed with weight: first-degree murder, firearm possession by a felon, and allegations tied to destroying evidence. The legal process moved forward, and the outcome was clear in its finality. Life in prison, no parole, a door closing for good. Steel and concrete would now hold the man who took Martika's life and then boasted about it. Martika's son received a name for his nightmares, if not the mother he deserved to keep. Her family faced the kind of closure that never feels complete. They could know who did it. They could know he would not come back. But they still had to live with the silence where her laughter used to be. That is the bitter edge of justice, even when it comes quickly. It answers the who, but it cannot heal the why. And yet, the shadows did recede. In 3 short days, surveillance and relentless detective work pulled the truth into the open. In a world where so many cases take years or never resolve at all, this one moved with uncommon speed. The darkness struck, but it did not get to hide. Karma arrived, unyielding and true. Martika's light refuses to fade entirely, because stories like hers still matter. Shadow Justice Files pulls more truths from the void, one case at a time. Like and subscribe to join the hunt. Share your cold case leads in the comments below. Every shadow conceals a spark waiting to break free.